seen things people wouldn't believe.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Brian at Whisper Status 74. Welcome to the community, welcome to the channel. If this is the first time you're seeing me, please consider liking and subscribing, as we are a very small tech community that is real tech for real people. If you're part of the community, please double check to make sure that you are subscribed and hit the bell notification icon to know whenever I am uploading, which I upload nearly every single day. I am also very active in the comments. Today's video will be a burn-in test of the Sony AF8. This is a 65-inch OLED I helped a friend of mine buy nearly 2 years ago, and we've done follow-up videos with him 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. We are now at the 1.5 year mark. We're doing basically screen uniformity tests and some burn-in tests to see how it performs with a regular family. Now, shout out to Ryan, who is the eldest son, daughters Anna and Jordan, and Jeremy and his wife Susan. They are very, very dear friends. They let me go there from time to time and shoot videos of their display. Now, the reason why I bring up the children is when we were first looking at picking a display for Jeremy, we were picking a QLED. At the time, I think it was the Q9FN, as he has a very bright room. And with all of the research and all of the information I had given him, he went to Best Buy and bought an OLED. And he's actually brought up in a video called The Power of the Demo, which is also on the channel. He basically saw what OLED looked like and he purchased it. And other than enabling screensavers and kind of coaching him on how to maintain a display, having children that are 18, 14, and 13, it's really kind of a real life project to see how a real family handles it and to see if there's been any burn-in. Now, there's been no gaming until the last time I've been there. Ryan, home from school, has gamed on it, so we'll be able to see if there's any issues with gaming and in terms of image retention and burn-in. So far, the panel has been very clean. You will also see it during the day. I'm typically there in the daytime, and there are skylights. You will see reflections. The reflections are nowhere near as bad as they show up in the video. It is bright enough for daytime viewing. They're extremely happy with it, but it is a good piece of evidence to see how it functions with a regular family. What I mean by a regular family is regular viewing happens. You have a young son, 2 young daughters that watch Netflix, Apple TV, they watch regular TV. Susan watches the news and shows and sports, and now some gaming has been done on it. So this video is going to be just me going through a couple demos, and then you'll see at the end of the video me do a screen burn-in test where the colors go from different shades to see if there's any burn-in or image retention. It's a great example of how it performs with a regular family, especially a family where I did not recommend OLED to because they have young children, and so far they've proven me wrong with only a little bit of maintenance. And that's the key, even though we're 3 minutes into the video, is it doesn't take a lot of maintenance to avoid burn-in. Burn-in does happen. It is an issue with OLED, but it can be negated unless you just have terrible, terrible luck or you abuse your display. Let's go to the video. We're going to show some of the demos, and then we're going to show the performance when it comes to the screen burn-in, and I will be talking throughout the demo. All right, guys, we'll see you with the demo. Now here we are behind the camera. These are demos that you'll see on most of the videos that I do from HDR channel, as they do not hit you for copyright on YouTube. I like using this with LEDs and OLEDs, as it clearly shows the delineation between light and dark. On LEDs you will see some haloing. On OLEDs the delineation is so clear it is just black. You are seeing the reflection of the room. Now, I know it's not optimal. There is a skylight above me. There are windows all over this room. It is definitely something you can see as far as the reflection, but it's also not terrible, even though it doesn't look great in this video. I also misspoke before by saying if you get burn-in by abusing your display. I did not mean that. It does happen to people, but usually with a little bit of care, it can easily be avoided. Now we're going to transition from this little demo here to the burn-in test, which will transition from color to color, starting with gray to a purple, a lightish blue. What you're looking for is image retention, anything from different networks, logos, burn-in of any kind, Netflix, YouTube, And there's nothing. The whole family's there as I'm talking. Gray again. And it's a very clean panel. I'm off angle. There's no vertical banding. And what's funny, this display did have slight banding in the reds. And it seems to have dissipated, which is interesting with OLEDs. Any kind of speckling that you see is actually from the light. You can actually see some of their art. That little star thing is actually a picture on the wall. It is a very, very clean panel. And why I think this is valuable is you do have a young family who uses this display like any other family would. Now, they're not watching Disney Junior or a channel for 20 hours, but they are using it like a regular display. And there is some gaming being done on it. And there is no HUD elements, no issues at all. Now, are they being careful? Yes, they've been coached by me to be careful, but they're not overly careful to where they can't enjoy the display. You've seen red in here. These are the main culprits for burn-in. There is nothing. And believe me, we go through these tests. They're all sitting there nervous to say, uh-oh, are any of us in trouble here? And it is absolutely clean. Very, very impressed with it. And all of Sony's OLEDs, even the A1E, was very impressive. They've made subtle changes to all of them, but it all depends on if you like that Sony natural look. And when we're done here, we'll also show some other demos. Now, yes, there is a reflection there. You can see me clearly, but it's not as bad watching content. Again, that's a piece of art on the wall that's not burned in. Sat and watched the Kingdom 2, a little bit of that in Dolby Vision, and it wasn't that bad during the day. And that's, again, with skylights above. I'm very close to the panel here. It also shows you why, reflection-wise, it might not be the best choice for a very, very bright room. Again, it's usable. Is it optimal? No. I recommended, I think, a Q9FN or a Q8FN for these guys. But the power of the demo definitely took Jeremy over. But you can see there's no banding, no screen uniformity issues at all. I can't believe how lucky he gets. The first one he buys is perfect. And now we're going to transition into some demos so you can see the different colors and how beautiful this display can actually look. This is just YouTube, onboard YouTube from the display itself at 4K. We can see where the contrast, the black level that everyone talks about, isn't just in the delineation of dark black. It's the black level in the scales of the lizard or the iguana. And there's the lights, there's the room. It's how the black level hits the crevices of every texture that really makes the difference. Yes, seeing the transition from dark to light, but just the dark in the leaf and in the grains, that's what makes the dark level and the contrast pop so much on OLED. And even though the display isn't very bright, it looks plenty bright looking at this, even in a bright room. So while the glare is there, guys, there's nothing about this image that looks dim in the least. That contrast, that, you know, that perceived brightness is so valuable. And taking this into a dark room, I feel like the peak brightness actually seems like it doubles almost. There's no aliasing on the chick's fur. Chicks. And we're going to transition from this to a train scene, and the video is nearly done. Being a huge fan of LEDs and bright HDR, it is always amazing how OLED demos definitely pull you in. As again, that black level, even the steel right there, it just seems to get into every crevice, and it just makes everything pop. There is that three-dimensional look to OLEDs. But at the same time, very excited to see what micro LED and mini LED have for the future. When you see demos like this, you do say to yourself that I don't think 8K is something that we truly need, but it is coming. But I'm proud to say that a regular family has a very high-end older Sony OLED. Now it's a couple years old, and there is no burn-in. The maintenance is minimal, and they're not really after their kids to take care of it. They just have the screensavers in place, and all these videos do every 3 or 4, 5, 6 months is to show you that it is safe to have. And we'll revisit this again at year 2. But it is a very beautiful, beautiful image. No issues with judder or motion. It's very smooth. All right, guys, thank you as always for everything. I will see you in the next video. See you in the comments. Take care.